What's up, guys? I'm going to show you guys how to pan fry a steak in response to Matt VV's question, how do you cook a steak without a grill? I'm going to make mashed potatoes with some cheddar cheese, and I'm going to cook the steak in a little bit of oil. I'm going to cook some mushrooms in a little bit of oil before I cook the steak, and use some red wine to deglaze the pan and make a brown sauce to go with the mashed potatoes. And I'm also going to make some green beans. So hopefully this goes off without a hitch and I don't burn my house down. Everyone's stove is different. Mine tends to only cook well at 8. If you go up to 9, it gets a little too hot, and under 8 it seems like it's a little bit too far below medium for most recipes. So I'm going to go with 8 for the boiling the water as well as for the pan for the steak. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of olive oil into this pan. Let it get hot, then put the mushrooms in a layer and season it with some salt and pepper. In the meantime, I'll put the potatoes and some salt into the pot of water for them. Bring the potatoes to a boil and then boil them for about 18 minutes. Once it's boiling, I'll set the timer. So I think this oil's probably about hot enough. I'm going to go ahead and put the mushrooms in here. We'll cook them for a couple of minutes. I'm going to season them with some salt and pepper. You can use whatever kind of steak you like best. I like ribeye. It's a little pricey, I guess, compared to sirloin, but I like it pretty rare, and the ribeye rare seems to be a little bit better quality than a rare sirloin, in my opinion. It's not a breakup steak, unfortunately, but take what you can get. So the steak prep is basically going to be taking out the steak, putting it on a paper towel, patting it dry, seasoning it with salt and pepper, and then setting it on the pan. Now if you have a steak that's pretty juicy in the package, you're going to want to drain it out a little bit first. This one looked pretty dry, so I think we're good. Just like that. Obviously, it's your preference how much you like to season it. I'm going to season it quite a bit. I'm not afraid of salt. I've been getting kind of more interested in seasoning with black pepper than I ever used to. I used to really dislike black pepper. Lately, it's something that I've enjoyed quite a bit. Adding a lot of it to my steaks and vegetables and things that I'm cooking on the stove. Ready to go. straight into the hot pan with just a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit, and now I'm going to set my timer for 30 seconds. Get that first flip after 30 seconds, and then about every minute for the next 7 minutes. There used to be some wisdom that you're not supposed to flip a steak more than once. I think that's been debunked. The more often you flip your steak in the pan, the more likely you are to get an even cooking, with the interior being to the doneness level that you prefer. So the first 30 seconds are already up. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. Already you see there's a nice char on the outside. You want that really hot pan with that char on the outside to sort of seal it. And then after that, turn it down just a little bit and cook it for the next 7 minutes. We'll go ahead and start the green beans in the back here on this pan. Honestly, I'm going to roll the dice on this, I think, and take it out early. It's looking pretty done, and I'm in the mood for a relatively rare, medium rare steak, so I think I'm only going to do 6 more minutes, 6 total minutes of cooking after this 1 minute of searing. I'm going to go ahead and throw in sliced up 2 tablespoons of butter. Get the butter cooking, and then sort of baste the steak in the butter. Perfect. Perfect. We'll go ahead and transfer this to a plate now. We ended up only cooking it for 7 total minutes. We'll see how done it is. I'll be happy with it either way. And I'm going to let this rest. And in the butter, I'm going to go ahead and cook some garlic and scallions. Just for about a minute or so. And now I'm going to deglaze the pan with this wine, and then let that wine cook down to make it a little bit thicker. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and season that wine with some salt and pepper. So I think we're probably about good on the potatoes, so I'm going to take those off, drain them, and then put them back into the pot. Yeah, they look like they're about good. To check their doneness level, you can pierce them with a fork. Make sure that the fork goes in relatively easily. I can see that they're falling apart pretty much, so I probably actually cooked them more than I even needed to. Doesn't really matter since they're going to get mashed. What I'm going to do, certainly not on the burner where it was, over here, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil in there. Put in the cheese. And then I'm going to carefully hit him with the potato masher. Now, I'm using a non-stick pot, so I don't really want to mess it up with this metal instrument, but I'm too lazy to transfer it to a different bowl, so this is going to be fine. Could probably use some milk or butter, but I don't really want to up the calories of this recipe any more than I already have. So I'm going to just go ahead and let the cheese and the olive oil kind of add to the creaminess of the potatoes. That should be looking pretty good. Have to scrape that off later. And we're going to go ahead and put on the mushroom sauce. Got steak, mushroom sauce, cheesy potatoes, and green beans.